So the Future Game Show event was over this past weekend, and there are a couple game announcements to talk about, along with one game to talk about as well from this previous week's Nintendo presentation as well. The most notable game is a Lord of the Rings game that when I first saw it, I really didn't think it was going to be a game that would come to the Switch platform. What's going on, you guys? My name is Ryan, aka Arpit. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure and hit that subscribe button down below. But if you guys enjoy these videos, also make sure and hit the like button for more Switch game announcements videos. But let's get into this week's new announcements for the Switch. So let's get into this Lord of the Rings game. So the Lord of the Rings Gollum has been confirmed to not only come to next-gen consoles, but also the PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch late next year. So we didn't get to see any gameplay from this game just yet, but we did get some more information on it from the first time we saw it a few months ago. So this game is a stealth narrative-based game, just meaning that there's not going to be a ton of combat focus in this game, which makes sense. It's a game centered around the character Gollum from the Lord of the Rings franchise. And if you know anything about Gollum, I mean, it would be weird to see him wielding a sword or something, right? So that totally makes sense. They talk about how there will be different climbing and parkour elements implemented as well. So it's definitely going to sound like it's going to be kind of like a platformer type game. One thing they mention as well is that you're going to be able to make decisions on basically how you favor either Gollum or Smeagol. Just meaning that there will be different scenarios where you're going to be able to make decisions for Gollum, which will kind of decide the side that he leans towards, being Gollum or Smeagol. They made it sound like it's not just going to be like you're picking the conversation, but that there's going to be the different options moving around the screen. And then you may be able to pick the one that you want, but I don't know. Not entirely sure how that's exactly going to work, but really the presentation was fairly short, so you can definitely go check it out for yourself if you haven't already. But yeah, this is definitely just a game that I think is going to be very interesting to see how they flesh it out. But yeah, I've always just loved the Lord of the Rings franchise. Most notably, I think the Shadows of Mordor games were probably some of the better games, at least in my opinion, for the Lord of the Rings franchise. There have been some ones that have definitely missed the mark for sure, but this looks like one that definitely is going to be focused around something totally different than has been done in the past. And like I said, this game was confirmed to be coming late 2021, so that can obviously change anytime before now and then because we're not even into late 2020 yet. So it's still a ways down the road, but definitely one to keep an eye out on because we're obviously going to see some gameplay sometime in the future before the actual game releases. Now, jumping into another game that was announced at the Future Game Show is Little Nightmares 2. Now, the first Little Nightmares game is definitely known as being one of the better indie titles that's been available on the Switch. If you're unfamiliar with Little Nightmares, it's a side-scroller that has you interacting with often oversized environments, and you overcome different obstacles, uncover paths, those types of things. And honestly, from what we saw from Little Nightmares 2, it really looks like it should be just as good as the first one and just as creepy. They did give a concrete release date for this game as well, so it's coming out on February 11th next year for Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Nintendo Switch, and then will release for the next generation consoles later in the year. Now, one element they're introducing in this game isn't actually co-op, but they do introduce an AI companion that you meet along the way, so that will be something that's totally different from the first game. Doesn't sound like there will be any opportunity to actually have a co-op companion, like you could bring somebody into the game along with you, but it is at least an interesting and different element that they're going to bring into the game, bringing in that AI companion. Now, these last two are two release date updates, but this first one is Spellbreak. Now, I know a lot of people have been playing this game, and so there's definitely tons of gameplay and stuff that you can go look at online if you haven't heard of this game or don't know what it's all about. But basically, it's a battle royale kind of combined with an RPG in a way. So, you know, in most battle royales, you're picking up different weapons from chests and taking out enemies, whatever. Where in Spellbreak, it's definitely focused on magic and elements and combining those different elements and skills to make certain attacks more powerful, things like that. So So this game has been confirmed coming for free next week on September 3rd for Xbox, PS4, and the Switch. So super soon. They are going to be releasing it next Thursday, and this is one that I'm super excited to be checking out. Now, I haven't played any of this game as of yet, but just everything that I've seen from people who have played the game, it definitely looks different as far as Battle Royale games go. I'm sure some of you are totally sick of Battle Royale games, and I totally get that because ever since Fortnite released, everyone's been trying to do their own take on Battle Royale games. But this is one that I'm excited for just because it's free, and free games are always awesome to check out because a lot of times free games will really appeal to you while they may not appeal to other people, and so it's always something worth checking out, at least in my opinion. Now, the final game that we are going to be talking about today is going to be Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Now, we did get already a look at this game a little bit ago, but we did get a release date from this last week's presentation from Nintendo for November 13th. Now, the reason I want to talk about this game is, well, when I first saw it, honestly, my thoughts are probably what a lot of people are thinking, and that's just that this is the Kingdom Hearts game that probably people aren't wanting. There's probably other Kingdom Hearts games, whether it's a new Kingdom Hearts game or remaster of a previous game. That's probably one that most people would really want to be looking forward to. This game definitely is a rhythm-based game based on the Kingdom Hearts mythology, but it's definitely just a rhythm game, right? Which we've seen before. But when I first saw it, I wasn't ready to write it off just yet because it's still Kingdom Hearts, so it still should be fairly good. Honestly, I think the biggest thing for me that I'm concerned about with this game is the price. So you are able to now pre-order the game as well, and it is a full $60 price tag. Now, I get it, it has the Kingdom Hearts title on it, but for a rhythm-based game, I don't know. It just seems kind of odd that this is a full $60, at least in my opinion. Now, maybe this game is just super fleshed out, and there's tons to do in the game, and they did give us a lot of different information on what's going to be available. Things like, battles against people online. The Switch version is going to have a free-for-all that supports local play for up to 8 players. So, there's different things that they've added and that they've told us about that's already going to be in the game. But I don't know. For me, a full $60 game or $60 price tag for a game like this just seems a little bit high. But definitely let me know what you guys think about the price tag for this game, if this is a game that you're looking forward to. I'm actually super interested to see just like what your guys' thoughts are and what people are thinking about this game coming to the Switch later this year on November 13th. And that is going to do it, you guys. Let me know also down below which of these games you are most excited for coming to the Switch. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys like these kinds of videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.